So, hi, my name is Tracy. This is the first time I really put my face in a video. I have not great editing skills, and I had a lot that I want to put in this video. And I started off trying to be aggressive and angry, and say, "Man, we're fundamental Black Americans. We're not Africans. We're Black. We're blah, blah. You South African women, you make me sick." And I wanted to push the algorithms, but I'm not angry at women. I'm not angry at South American women. I'm not angry at women at all. No matter what your color is, Asian, European, white, African, Solon, Solani, fundamental Black American. I need Black women and women all over the world, white, Asian, to listen to this. So, South African women are going purple. They're protesting the high rates of femicide in their country and gender-based violence. Femicide and gender-based violence is rampant throughout the world. Please forgive me if I cry. I've been practicing doing this, but I wanted to just get the video out and get this off my chest. If you're watching on Lacey's House Burkina TikTok, there is a pinned video to my profile. I lived in Ghana for 2 years. I hated it. For me, it was horrible. For me, it was fucking terrible. For me, I did not feel safe. Okay. Uh, I don't feel like getting into it, but there's colorism because of my skin color. I've had people say, "Well, you're not a real Black person because of your skin color." And there are people that take African studies and say, "No, it's not. It's because of your culture. It's the culture." It is because of my skin color, and a lot of people who are lighter in skin color and have gone to certain African countries, like when I lived in Kenya, it was Mzungu, and I would just say, "Hey, I'm Black. I'm not white." Kenyans would accept that. In Ghana, they didn't. They argued. And because I post videos, I was sexually assaulted, by the way, by a Ghana police officer named Emmanuel. East Lagoon Police Station. Shout out to Emmanuel. Um, One of the biggest threats and insults I get from Ghanaians all over the world, in the UK, in Ghana, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, a young man called me a fat piggy bitch, and we're coming to get you. There's no script here. I'm not reading off of anything. Um, he really said that we're coming to get you, you fat piggy bitch. Why don't you eat a hoagie and lose weight? Eat a hoagie, but then go lose weight because eighth lowest IQ. But anyway, it's funny that one of the biggest insults when I talk about how they treat women in Ghana and how I didn't feel safe because of the color of my skin and because I'm a woman, because I'm a foreigner and a forever foreigner. One of the biggest insults was Obolo, fat piggy. Obolo means fat in Twi, by the way. Fat piggy, you fat bit. Look at you, you fat pig. Oh, you got your heart broken by a Ghanaian man, and that's why you hate the whole country. Fuck. Who in their right mind would pick Ghana to go find a man? But anyway, I digress. It's always sexualizing a woman. It's always making a woman seem like she's promiscuous, and that's the only reason that I would move to Ghana. I've written 4 books. One of them was The Unwelcoming to Ghana. You don't invite someone to a dirty house. And I've also talked about being called a typical angry Black American woman. I said that I would make this gentleman famous. His name is Quajo. Quajo is also known as Ghana's DJ Black GH. DJ Black GH called me a typical angry Black American woman. Um, he was at work on camera on several social media platforms, and he was doing something that I thought was not appropriate for work. I put a little emoji symbol in the chat, and he says, "Well, Tracy, come on, it's Friday." He finished work and he called me via WhatsApp and he said, "No, it wasn't what you thought it was. It was this." And I said, "Well, no, it wasn't because I could see it very well. And it was indeed what I saw." And he laughed and he says, "You're a typical angry Black American woman." I wasn't angry and he lied. And then he went on and he started laughing. He says, You Black Americans don't take no shit." And he's laughing it off. And I said, "I didn't think that was funny. I'm not even angry or upset. I saw what I saw and I was correct." So just the other day on his WhatsApp story, he posted this video right here.
Oh man, I don't follow nobody. I'm the one in control. I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't adjust, I don't compromise. He got to deal with me as I am. And if a man can't handle that, then he's just not strong enough for me. Period. I am the prize. He's supposed to prove himself to me.
So that video is AI. It is by an AI like app or whatever, and it shows the name in it, so it shows it's AI. Quajo, DJ Black GH, who called me a typical angry black American woman because I caught him lying. By the way, I want to add this in here just for a fun fact. For Ghanaian women and other African women that get in traditional marriages, your husbands are legally marrying people, and they target foreigners in Ghana especially and say that they're not married. And some particular married men say, I'm not really married, it's just a traditional marriage. So back to DJ Black Quajo calling me a typical angry black American woman. DJ Black works for Joy FM, Joy News. It's actually a several affiliates. Like Power 99 in Philadelphia is owned by Clear Choice or Clear Channel or whatever, and there's a lot of subsidiaries. And again, I said I was going to make DJ Black DJ Black Ghana Quajo famous. He called me a typical angry black American woman, and then he posted this video. AI is targeting black Americans in the United States, especially when it was talking about SNAP, food stamps, welfare, and it was making a bunch of angry videos of supposed black AI women with AI children, and it was trying to make us look like welfare recipients and welfare queens. Did I mention that there are 60 to 75,000 missing black American women? Okay, in the United States. Okay, I'm going to go back to this. That narrative is white supremacy rhetoric. I heard it all the time when I lived in Ghana. It was always used towards other Africans. However, again, I said this is going to intersect between Africans and black Americans. So while we're on TikTok and social media and in real life arguing about who's African, who's a real black person, South Africans talking about colored and all this stuff, women of every color are being slaughtered, and it's like no one cares. So Monday through Saturday, I do the news. I collect newspapers and news stories, and I post it on my Facebook page and other platforms. Sometimes I make CapCut videos and put them on my social media platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Lacey's House Facebook page, and I'm going to tell you some stories. There's no script here. I want to show you what I'm looking at. This is a shelf in front of me. This is all I'm looking at. Yeah, it's pretty messy. There's no script here. In Cameroon, an 11-year-old girl was walking to school. She was gang raped by 11 men. In South Africa, a mother left her baby with the father, and the baby was 8 days old. I'm sorry. The father raped his 8-day-old daughter, and she died. And in Ghana, a 15-month-old child was playing at a neighbor's apartment with other children. The mother went to pick the child up, and the gentleman that was playing with the children, who had his own children, but they weren't there at the time, he asked if her toddler could stay a little longer, and he sexually assaulted a 15-month-old toddler. This was in Ghana. In Kenya, an 11-year-old girl was raped and murdered, and Kata Scott was killed in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and her body was dumped behind an abandoned school. Sorry, I'm back. I was gonna add videos from YouTube, but there are so many. There are one state had to launch a task force for missing and murdered Black African American women. Here's a clip right here from the U.S. president.
Or exploitation of women in society. There's no room for it, guys. We're not having it.
No matter what region of the world you're in, no matter what country, no matter what nationality, no matter what ethnicity, no matter how you identify with your skin color, no matter what wealth, poverty, No matter what your status in life, if you're a woman, a girl, and even a child, male children, there is nothing you can do and there's nowhere you can go. Femicide, gender based violence is all over and it's rampant. Yes, because of men, I have to mention that men, maybe 1 out of 7, receive violence in an intimate relationship. 1 out of 3 women receives violence in an intimate relationship. You always have to mention men are also victims. You always have to mention men are always on the receiving end of brutality and violence. But women are more likely to receive abuse, violence, rape, sexual assault from their intimate male partners. I mean, like, no matter what. So, Quajo, DJ Black, repeating that narrative that I'm a typical angry black American woman, so that when I talk about violence against women in Ghana, it is always me. It is always my fault. When I was sexually assaulted by a Ghana police officer in East Lagoon Police Station, I was filing a police report against a man named John Hinaku, which we called Kwabena. And in this office, which belonged to Emmanuel, who is in head of this smaller police station in East Lagoon, not the regional larger one on the left side. He was in charge of the smaller one. And in that room, he touched my breast. He asked me, did I want to chop his dick? He sat on me. He put his finger in my mouth when I was trying to reach for something. He was offering me a piece of food I did not want. I kept saying I did not want a piece of tilapia. I went to go reach for it. He stuck his finger in my mouth and he pushed it in and out. My teeth are false. So when I bit down on him, it wasn't hard enough. I'm always blamed. Well, what were you wearing? Why were you there? Why didn't you hit him? I'm in Ghana where they don't treat me nice. They think I'm a white woman. They call me all kinds of insulting names. And I'm being blamed because I was in a high ranking police officer's office and I didn't do anything while he touched me, groped me, grabbed his penis, and said, I have a big dip. I said, I have a big dick. I'll fuck you so hard you'll cry. I even recorded it. I went to Ghana's IGP, the head of all the police in Ghana. The former IGP was Dampour. They didn't give a shit. They didn't care that I had a recording. They didn't care that I had proof that this had happened to me. They didn't care. And Ghanaians, even a black American man from New York City was like, well, why didn't you punch him? Why didn't you hit him? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Why would I do any of this in a country where I was treated like shit because of the color of my skin, because of my accent, because of where I was born? So I'm going to hit a high ranking police officer and expect people to care about me. Several black American women have been kidnapped, have sent me inboxes and voice notes about things that happened to them. Even a black American woman living in the United States, I've talked to her on the phone about issues that have happened to her with child custody of a Ghanaian man who now left the country and is using a Liberian baby mama to attack her and chase her and stalk her. There are so many reports. I mean, it just, even right now, today in Ghana, like, there were so many reports of violence towards women and all over the world. And we're busy arguing about who's African. I'm not African. People who don't have parents, great grandparents, grandparents, great 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 grandparents in Africa are not African, and we're just not. That's like me saying I'm Irish because my great grandmother was Irish. So that's like me claiming Ireland and saying, hey, I'm Irish because I don't know, what am I, like 18% Irish and Scottish? So that's like me claiming Ireland. So we're arguing about black and white and racism and oh my god, I love Donald Trump and you blacks need to go back to Africa or you need to do this or you're so violent. All that arguing, and still women are being subjugated. Women are being assaulted. Women are being murdered, raped, kidnapped, abused. Our children are being raped, abused. And we're just arguing about everything else but women. Imagine if women all over the world got together. I just posted a video. My nonprofit has been collecting donations for Burkina Faso for 3 years. I just posted a video of a Ghanaian man saying, why do they have 7 and 8 children? Why are the men that bore the children not taking care of them? Burkina Faso was one of the most terrorism affected countries on earth. Even hundreds of Ghanaians cross the border into Burkina Faso and kill right along with terrorists and kill soldiers and civilians and leave these women widows with children. Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara was murdered. Mariam Sankara, his wife, had to flee the country. Mariam Sankara had to flee the country. She even started a cause to try to help African widows because even though wealth used to belong to the women and used to be passed down by the women, it changed. And so when women in many African countries and Asian countries and everything, when they lose their husband, they lose their wealth, they lose their house, they lose everything that belonged to them as a married couple. Mariam Sankara fought for widows' rights. South African women have fought for widows' rights. Kenyan women have fought for widows' rights. The femicide is touching the entire continent of Africa. It's touching the entire world. It is touching the entire world. And we're sitting here arguing about race and skin color. I'm getting death threats for saying I didn't feel safe in a country because I have a vagina. A country where now several viral videos have come out of teachers having sex with children. Ghana, yes, several teachers have had sex with children. Even in the comment sections, Ghanaian men and women have said, oh, it's normal in boarding schools to have sex with your teacher. What the fuck? What the fuck? Woda Maya. Woda Maya is a Ghanaian influencer. He just got an ambassador passport from Ghana. Do you know a lot of his videos he sexualizes women? Woda Maya literally was in South Africa, standing on a corner, filming South African women's asses. Filming South African women's asses without their knowledge while they're walking down the street. And he's famous. He's a millionaire. They have streets named after him in Nigeria. Woda Maya, who told a woman from Zimbabwe in one of his videos because she was eating with her left hand, that's so disgusting. If you were in Ghana, you would be smacked. Fucking excuse me? I wish a Ghanaian would smack me. I fucking wish a Ghanaian would smack me for using my left hand, which is culturally and traditionally a Muslim thing, not to greet people, not to touch people, not to eat with your left hand in a Muslim country. And yes, they practice it in Ghana, majority Christian country. But he said to a woman from Zimbabwe that she would be smacked in Ghana. And he's famous, and millions of people follow him, and he threatened to smack a woman because she didn't follow his culture. What the fuck is wrong with? And he is got an ambassador passport. He is a citizen of Burkina Faso, and he even goes to other African countries and film who has the biggest nash or ass rear end. He goes and says, what women in Africa have the biggest butts? In Burkina Faso, that is considered offensive content, and he would be arrested. Burkinabés who make music videos or videos and contents and disrespect women or are inappropriate, they're jailed. One guy was jailed for 3 months. But Woda Maya is giving an ambassador passport, and he films women. He says he would smack, or excuse me, a Zimbabwean woman would be smacked if she didn't follow their culture in Ghana. And he's famous. Just like Quajo, DJ Black. He was living in New York City, and he started to tell me a story. He said, oh, I saw Black Americans standing on the corner. And I said, wow, they're so lost. How did he know they were Black Americans? What the fuck? Then he said to me, oh, when we were talking about my color issue and how Africans say I'm not a real black person. Oh, well, we Africans think Black America. Stop. I never even let him finish. I was friends with this man probably a year, 2 years. I don't know how long. I would say nakupenda to him. I love you. I would message him to make sure he was okay. I have sent him lotion because his hands were ashy because he was on TikTok live. I had sent him hot tea the other day because he was sick. And this man thinks I'm a typical angry black American woman. This man, when I told him about it, did not care that it was inappropriate for him to use that white supremacy narrative that black American women are angry and brutal and violent and we're always confrontational. When I first wanted to make this video, I was so angry. I wanted to curse and holler and scream. This video is so long, I don't think most people would even watch it to hear what I've said about Woda Maya, what I've said about DJ Black, what I've said about black women, what I've said about Asian women, what I've said about Native American women, all the issues that are going on around the world. I don't even think people have the stamina or care to even watch this fucking video. I just spit out my mouth. I'm angry as shit right now. And why the fuck are none of you angry? Why the fuck are you all just sitting around acting like things are normal? Why? Why do they hate us so fucking much?